almost feel like we have two extra bonus rookies in Faltanu and Wilson.
What if DK misses a game or two here and there? Who's going to step in now? I don't think he would start. Normally it's just like my schedule and some other things happen, and I just can never make camp. But I think I might actually make a trip up there this year because there's a few players that I'm not only interested in watching them play, I'm interested in watching them practice. I'm interested in watching them in drills. What players are you most interested in seeing, whether it's, in camp, and again, I'm talking about playing in the preseason games, but we all know that that's kind of a scripted play. It's more watered down. But what players are you keeping your eye out for in camp? Let's start on offense.
Yeah, there are several that I'm very interested in watching practice, like you said, and see what they look like in the best of 7, and in no particular order.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Obviously, the rookie running back, Caleb Johnson. I want to see exactly what he brings to the table. Is he going to be a tick faster than Najee? Is he actually going to be the outside zone runner we think he could be? Can he run some other stuff, some mid zone? Can he do some duo? Can he what's he capable of doing? Can he be a complete back? And what's that going to look like? The other part that I'm interested in is Troy Faltanu. Coming off of injury. I mean, he looks really good in shorts, working out and everything, but I want to see what that looks like, at right tackle, and, all the praise that he has received in the past. I mean, they were toting him as the best lineman on the team last year, right? And then and then unfortunately he got hurt. So I'm really interested. And then the last one that I'm really, really interested in is Roman Wilson. Like, I almost feel like we have two extra bonus rookies in Faltanu and Wilson, and what they're going to bring to the table and the type of impact that they're going to bring. And I feel like those three pieces on the offensive side, if they are able to perform consistently with some splash, man, it'll help DK, it'll help Firemouth, it'll help Janu, it'll help Calvin Austin the third, it'll help everybody else in that whole whatever personnel we're talking about at the time. I think that's going to be a big part of the mix that can really make this thing a really dangerous, unpredictable offense.
So, speaking of Fuatano, what specifically do you want to see from him? I'm obviously coming off that injury of the knee.
Yes.
What about his game? What do you want to see? Like, you talk about drills, talk about things in there. Like,
yeah.
What do you want to see from him?
I do want to see what his outside zone blocking is going to look like. Because we're going to be running to the right. He's going to be coming out. He'll be coming out and taking out a corner, or make it like he's going to be a road grader. So I'm going to see what that looks like, right? So I'm really interested to see how that looks like. I'm obviously the double and climb, what that's going to look like. And then lastly, the most important part is, what's that pass pro going to look like?
Yeah.
Right. I really want to see. I'm gonna pay attention to his feet, because I hear he has tremendous feet. And I remember watching him, and he and Zach Frazier in particular. I remember watching them in the combine, and I was extremely impressed by them. And I feel like I think it's gonna be just more of the same with that. So that's what I really want to see. And then obviously when you have them going up against, when you have a Faltanu going up against an Alex Highsmith, or you have a Caleb Johnson going up against a TJ Watt on a blitz. I want to see those things and see how that play out for the young rook. I mean, he a big boy though. He's 6'2", 6'2.25". He got a little size, bro. So we'll see how that play out.
That's where Jalen Warren first made a name for himself, was in back on backers drills.
That backs on backers is going to be lit.
Backs on backers is one of my favorite drills. For main reasons I never had to participate in it, but
man.
But yeah, that's you make a name for yourself.
Peyton Wilson versus Jalen Warren this year is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Cole Holcomb coming back. He a thumper too. He like to thump too, man. That's gonna be so fun to watch. They're gonna be popping too, boy.
All right, man. Listen, it's the camp this year. There's so many things that, I mean, I could literally go down through a whole bunch, and we'll talk more about some of the other players as camp rolls around. But
Yeah,
on the offense, no surprise, I'm going with positions near and dear to my heart. But the one
absolutely.
that's a captain obvious for a lot of people, but I want to watch Will Howard with the off
Mm,
the ball type stuff. Like, how is he carrying himself? And what I mean by that is when he's on the side, obviously he's
yeah,
going to be paying attention to Aaron Rodgers a lot, right? Because he's going to
sure.
want to learn from him, and even learn from Skylar Thompson. I mean, Skylar Thompson's been around the NFL in a while. I mean, obviously he's not a top tier NFL quarterback, but he's been in the league enough to where he could show Will Howard some things. But
Yeah,
what is Will doing when he's in drills? Is he talking to receivers? What is he always talking to coaches? Is he talking to different coaches on the field? You know, things
yeah,
like that. Because if you become more of a sponge and you get your mentals right, he's got enough above average physical abilities to succeed in the NFL. And so we'll see. I want to watch him, and I want to watch how he does. You know, again when he's not, playing or doing drills.
yeah, yeah.
The
I
other
also
guy,
want to see. Oh, go ahead. You had
no, no,
another
so
point.
there's
I'm
one other
sorry.
guy. Then I want you to
Yep.
continue with this too. But the other guy that I'm really wanting to see is you talked about Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, and others, and those guys are very important, especially Roman Wilson, like you were saying. The guy that I want to watch, and he's been getting some buzz, is
Mm-hmm.
Rock Taylor, the
Mm-hmm.
undrafted free agent out of Memphis. Reason being is, what if DK misses a game or two here and there? Who's going to step in now? I don't think he would start, but he is somebody that has a little bit of size to him, right? Rock Taylor is 6'1", about 215.
Yeah.
He had 66 catches for just under 1,000 yards at Memphis last year. I think he only had like 2 or 3 touchdowns, so it wasn't much, but he has really, really good body control. He's not like a 4-2 guy. He is a prototypical outside receiver,
Mm-hmm.
which is what DK is. So
Yeah.
he would be able to do, hopefully, some things that DK is doing if DK were to miss. Hopefully, DK misses no time. But what I'm saying is,
Right.
I want to watch him because he's a receiver that has size and a
Yeah.
little bit of strength to him too. So I'm interested to watch what he does. And our organization has a tendency to find some undrafted free agent wide receivers here and there, or some
Yes,
low
they
round
do.
wide receivers. So maybe he's the next best thing. I don't know. I do think he fits the scheme very well. So I'm watching.